Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, where my goal is to help all of you defeat every boss in RuneScape. Today we'll be taking a look at Vindicta and Gorbek, one of the 5 God of War's Dungeon 2 bosses and probably the easiest one. The only requirement for Vindicta is level 80 attack, but this can be boosted with the help of stat boosting potions. So you can use those if you're not level 80 attack yet. Although I would recommend having at least level 80 or above in whichever combat style you decide to use in the fight. For additional recommendations, the World Wakes quest will give you access to damage boosting ultimate abilities like Sunshine and That's Swiftness. Level 96 Herblore for overloads is really nice and it can be boosted, but we won't be using them in this guide. Level 92 Prayer or above for Soul Split and damage boosting prayers like Turmoil, Anguish or Torment will make this an easier fight, but in this guide we'll stick to the default prayer book. Level 52 Summoning or above for access to summoning familiars that can carry supplies for you, like the Spirit Terrorbird or Bunyip for extra healing come in handy, but they are by no means necessary. To get there, you can buy a The Heart teleport tablet from the Grand Exchange. Break this and you will arrive to the middle of the God of War's Dungeon 2 area. Otherwise, you can teleport to Narda using a Desert Amulet 2 or above and run west until you reach the entrance. Once inside, we'll be running southwest to the Sarusian camp, where we will need to kill 40 Sarusian followers to gain access to the boss. Once we have defeated 40 Sarusian followers, we can go through the barriers and start our boss instance. In this guide, I'll be showing extremely budget setups, but of course you are welcome to bring better weapons and better armor if you have them. For our magic setup, we'll be using the full tier 75 Ganodermic armor set, along with the tier 75 Abyssal 1 and the Abyssal Orb for our weapons. For our necklace slot, the Blood Amulet of Fury allows us to heal a few hundred hit points every time it procs, so we'll be using that in all of our setups today. In our inventory, we have a Super War Master Potion, which boosts all of our combat stats except Necromancy, and it can be purchased from the Grand Exchange. But if you have overloads, you can choose to bring those instead. We'll bring a few prayer restoration potions, bone runes and spirit runes to cast Bone Shield, so we can use defensive abilities without a shield, and runes to cast whatever combat spell you want to use. In this guide, we'll be using Wind Surge. Fill the rest of your inventory with the best food you can afford. A Revolution plus bar for magic will be looking like this. Sunshine, Graded Concentrated Blast, but you can use the regular Concentrated Blast instead if you don't have the greater version. Asphyxiate, Wild Magic, Combust, Omnipower, Dragon Breath, and Sonic Wave. Make sure you have the Resonance ability accessible to use for the second phase of the fight. For a range setup, we'll be using a super basic tier 75 Undead Dragonhide armor set, coupled with a tier 80 Royal Crossbow and Royal Bolts. Our inventory will be the same as before, with our stat boosting potion, our prayer restoration potions, and runes for Bone Shield and food. Our Revolution plus bar for the range setup will consist of That's Swiftness, Gale Shot, Rapid Fire, Snipe, Normal Ricochet, Shadow Tendrils, Piercing Shot, and Snapshot. In our melee setup, we'll use a full tier 70 Bandos armor set. For our weapon, we'll be using a tier 82 Masuda's War Spear. And our Revolution plus bar for melee is Berserk, Adaptive Strike, Rend, Fury, Hurricane, Overpower, Punish, and Dismember. And finally, for our Necromancy setup, we'll be using a full set of Death Warden armor and the tier 70 set of Necromancy weapons. In our inventory, we swap out the Super War Master Potion for an Extreme Necromancy Potion from the Grand Exchange, and we bring Ectoplasm to summon our Conjures. Our Revolution bar for Necromancy is Conjure Skeleton, Conjure Ghost, Death Skulls, Living Death, Soul Sap, Touch of Death, Sacrifice, Volley of Souls, Finger of Death, and Bloat. For mechanics, we'll split the fight in 2 phases. Phase 1 has 2 main mechanics, the melee spin and the firewall. Vindicta's melee spin is like our Hurricane ability, dealing heavy melee damage when it happens. As we're going to be using the Protect from Melee prayer throughout the fight, we can ignore this mechanic almost completely. The second mechanic in phase 1 is the fire wall. When this happens, a purple line of fire will appear in the arena, and all we need to do is move out of the fire and continue to attack. These mechanics will cycle until we deal 100,000 damage. After this, Vindicta will get on his dragon and phase 2 will start. The first mechanic for phase 2 is Vindicta's ranged attack, which will show as a cloud of smoke around your character before it hits. We can use our resonance ability to heal up this attack when we see the smoke around our character. Next, Vindicta and Gorbek will fly away and land on a different part of the arena, leaving a firewall when they do so. This is where a combat style that allows you to attack from a distance comes in handy. As in phase 1, you will want to move away from the fire. And as always, if your HP gets too low, just eat whatever food you have to get it back up. And there you have it, a beginner's guide to Vindicta, to get you on track to your first completions at this boss. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and hopefully you too can get some big drops. Until next time.